Yo, what's up, guys? I'm going to be testing something out every week. Weekly NBA recap, some of the major topics that are in the NBA. And I'm going to start it off with the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers streak has finally stopped against the Chicago Bulls. The game just ended 10 minutes ago. They got kind of blown out, but it's okay. They had an amazing start. And that's a must-have start for any team. And right now, they have two players in particular that I'm just so surprised. Paul George has took the rights of my favorite player in the NBA right now. He's playing like an MVP, and in my opinion, he's like number one in the MVP candidate race. He has to be. He just took the Pacers. It's just a long story. Last year Danny Granger was out the whole season, and the Pacers were looking for a new leader, and Paul George took that role and has taken the Pacers all since Danny Granger's absence. And Roy Hibbert, he's just an amazing defender. He's like the league's leader in blocks, and he's a threat. He really is. He's just like the defensive player of the year candidate right now too. And next topic are the Nets. I'm a bit worried for the Nets. They're like 3-5 at the moment. And I was hoping they would get, on a strong start, 6-2, 6-3, even 5-2, because, they're an old team. And as the season progresses, I'm worried that they're going to get worn out. Like the Knicks last season, they had a strong start. They were like number one in the Eastern Conference. But as the season progressed, they were the oldest team in the NBA last season. And as the season progressed, they were just struggling. They were worn out. But this team is, I think, a little bit older than last year's Knicks. And I'm just hoping that they don't get burned out. KG and Paul Pierce, those two players I'm just worried about the most. And I just don't want them to get blown out. And I'm just worried a little, but I want to hear your feedback. Do you guys think the Nets will get worn out throughout the season? What seed do you think they'll make, like the first seed, second seed, etc.? And next topic are the Knicks. This is very interesting. As a Knicks fan, I don't know what else I could say. They are struggling. They just got blown out by the Hawks by 20, and that I just couldn't watch that game. I was kind of mad in some ways. There are chants at the Knicks game saying fire Woodson. You can't do that. I mean, I am a Knicks fan. I know people are chanting that, but it's really not Mike Woodson's fault. It's that the whole team. I did think the Knicks had a depth team, but as a whole, they're struggling. Without Tyson Chandler, they are really struggling. But at the moment, I'm not hitting the panic button yet. But after Tyson Chandler comes back, and the first 10 games, if they're struggling after the first 10 games when Tyson Chandler comes back, then I'm hitting that panic button, and I'm saying that they have to have a trade. One of the big trades that people were talking about was Iman Shumpert for Kenneth Faried. And, at the moment, without Tyson Chandler, that's pretty much a necessity. They really do need a rebounder, but if they do get Kenneth Faried, they have to drop one power forward, because that would be like 4 power forwards. Kenneth Faried, Amari, Kenyon Martin, Andre Bargnani. Andre Bargnani is playing pretty well, in my opinion. Pretty shocked with him, though. And I don't know what to say. Knicks, hopefully throughout the season that they can, improve. But at the moment, they're not gonna fire Woodson. Hopefully they don't. But next topic is the San Antonio Spurs. They are 9-0. They're actually tied with the Pacers at the moment, and they are underrated as usually. They've been an underrated team for the last decade, and nobody usually talks about them, but they are, in my opinion, better than last year. They picked up Marco Bellinelli, which I think was a huge pickup. Kawhi Leonard's playing phenomenal. Timmy, Tony, etc. But I want to hear your feedback. Out of these 4 topics, which of them are you guys more surprised? Voice your opinion in the comment section below. Let me hear your feedback.